Every year, my family forgot my birthday while organizing my stepbrother's huge Halloween party. This time, I made sure they would never forget again. The smell of pumpkin spice candles filled the house as I stood in my bedroom doorway, watching my stepmother hang orange and black streamers across the living room. October 25th. 5 days before my birthday, 5 days before Halloween, 5 days before they would forget me again. I leaned against the doorframe, invisible as always. My stepmother, Patricia, balanced on a ladder in her designer jeans, laughing on speakerphone with the party planner. Brandon's party? Always Brandon's party. Before we start, take a moment to like the video and subscribe to the channel, but only if this video resonates with you. Comment below where you are watching from. I read and respond to all comments. My name is Alex. I'm 28 years old. I work in IT for a tech company downtown. I live alone in a one-bedroom apartment 15 minutes from my father's house. And for 18 years, I have been the ghost child of this family. Patricia spotted me and waved without pausing her conversation. Yes, we need the fog machines delivered by Friday morning. Brandon's theme is Haunted Mansion Gala this year. Very upscale. Upscale, I remembered that word from Brandon's 21st birthday, when they rented out an entire casino-themed venue with 200 guests. I had turned 21 3 years earlier. My father sent me a text at 11 p.m. that said, "Sorry we forgot. We were busy. Happy birthday." I walked past Patricia into the kitchen. The granite countertop was covered with sample menus from the catering company. Filet mignon, lobster tail, truffle mac and cheese. I counted 6 different dessert options. On the refrigerator, held by a magnet shaped like a pumpkin, was a printed checklist. Brandon's party timeline. Professional photographer arrives at 6. Bartender setup at 5:30. Guest list. 152 confirmed attendees. I opened the fridge looking for milk. Behind the organic vegetables and craft beer, I found what I was looking for. My phone buzzed in my pocket. A text from my father. "Can you pick up extra ice Friday afternoon? Party starts at 6. Thanks." Friday, October 30th. My birthday. He didn't even realize what he was asking. I sat on my bed that night, staring at my phone. The text from my father glowed in the darkness. "Can you pick up extra ice Friday afternoon?" Friday was my birthday. My 29th birthday. I opened my photo gallery and scrolled back. Way back. To 2007. I was 10 years old in the picture, sitting alone at our old kitchen table with a grocery store cake. 1 candle. My father had just married Patricia 3 months earlier. Brandon was 6, already the center of their new blended family universe. That was the first year they forgot. I scrolled forward. Age 16. There was a photo my aunt took without anyone noticing. I was standing in the corner of our living room while everyone sang happy birthday to Brandon. His cake was 3 tiers tall with edible gold decorations. A professional baker had spent 2 days creating it. Behind the celebration, you could see me holding a small plastic container. My cake. Bought at 10 p.m. from the 24-hour supermarket after my aunt reminded my father what day it was. Age 22. I scrolled faster now. No photos of me that year, but I had screenshots, a group chat from my family, 47 messages planning Brandon's surprise weekend at a lakeside resort. The dates? October 28th through November 1st. My birthday fell on October 30th. They never mentioned it once. I switched to my messages with my father. Scrolled to June 15th of this year. There it was. The promise that made me believe this year would be different. Dad, I know we've messed up before. This year will be different. This year will make your day special. I promise, son. I had screenshot that message. Saved it. Read it a dozen times over the summer. I actually believed him. My phone buzzed. A new message in the family group chat. Patricia had sent a photo of the invitation for Brandon's party. Embossed printing, cream-colored cardstock. A wax seal with the letter B pressed into burgundy wax. The message read, "Can't wait for everyone to see these. They came out perfect." I looked at the date on the invitation. October 30th, 8 p.m. to midnight. My birthday. Again. The invitation arrived on Monday morning, delivered by special courier. I found it in my mailbox when I got home from work. A cream-colored envelope, thick and expensive. My address was written in calligraphy, black ink, perfect loops. I opened it standing in my apartment hallway. The invitation was printed on textured cardstock that felt like fabric under my fingers. At the top, embossed in silver foil, "You are cordially invited to Brandon's Haunted Mansion Gala." Below that, the details. October 30th, 8 p.m. to midnight. Black tie optional. RSVP by October 27th. At the bottom, a wax seal, burgundy red, pressed with the letter B. I turned it over. On the back, printed in smaller text, "Dinner service by Ashford Catering. Live jazz ensemble. Professional photography. Open bar." I sat down on my couch. The invitation rested on my coffee table. I stared at it for a long time. They had spent money on calligraphy, on wax seals, on textured paper that probably cost $5 per sheet. They had hired a courier service to hand-deliver invitations to 152 people. For Brandon's birthday, on October 30th, my birthday, I picked up my phone, scrolled through my contacts, found the name I was looking for. Gabriel, my cousin, 32 years old, corporate lawyer. He had been at Brandon's 21st birthday party. He had watched them forget my 21st birthday. He noticed things other people missed. I pressed call. He answered on the second ring. "Alex, hey, what's up?" "Gabriel," I said. My voice sounded strange. Calm. Too calm. "I need your help with something." "Sure." "What do you need?" I looked at the invitation on my table. The expensive paper. The silver foil. The wax seal with Brandon's initial. "I need you to help me make sure my family never forgets my birthday again." There was a pause. Then Gabriel's voice came back, careful and measured. "What are you thinking?" "I'm thinking it's time they remembered I exist, and I need a lawyer who understands exactly how forgotten I've been." Another pause. Longer this time. "When can we meet?" Gabriel asked. "Tonight," I said. "I'll bring evidence." Gabriel arrived at my apartment at 8 p.m. He wore a suit from work, his tie loosened. He carried a leather briefcase and a look of focused intensity I'd seen in courtrooms. I had my laptop open on the dining table. 3 folders sat beside it. Physical folders, the kind with metal clips and paper documents. "Show me what you have," Gabriel said, sitting down across from me. I opened the first folder. Inside were printed photographs, hundreds of them. I had spent the last 2 hours organizing them chronologically. "This is Brandon's 10th birthday," I said, sliding a photo across the table. 200 guests, rented venue, professional magician, ice sculpture. The cake cost $1,200. Gabriel studied the photo. "And yours?" I slid another photo. Me, alone at a kitchen table with a grocery store cupcake. 1 candle. "Same year," I said. 3 months apart. Gabriel's jaw tightened. He said nothing. I continued. "This is Brandon's 16th. This is mine. Brandon's 21st. Mine. Every single year for 18 years. I opened my laptop, pulled up a spreadsheet I had been building for the past 4 hours. Gabriel leaned forward. "I estimated costs," I said. "Conservative estimates. Brandon's birthday parties over the last 10 years total $127,000. Mine total $4,200. Gabriel wrote something in a small notebook. "What else?" I opened the second folder. Inside were printed screenshots from our family group chat, years of messages. I had highlighted specific dates in yellow. "October 30th appears 96 times in our family chat over the last 8 years, I said. Brandon's name appears in 94 of those conversations. "Mine appears twice, both times someone asking if I could help set up." Gabriel looked up at me. His expression had changed. This was no longer my cousin. This was a lawyer who had just seen a case. "There's more," I said quietly. I pulled out the third folder. Inside was a single document. Bank statements. My grandmother's education trust fund, the one she left for all her grandchildren before she died. They used my portion to pay for Brandon's parties. Gabriel stared at the bank statements. His finger traced a line of transfers. $43,000. Withdrawn in increments over 8 years, all during October, all in the weeks before Brandon's birthday parties. "This is your education fund," Gabriel said quietly. "Your grandmother left this specifically for college expenses, for all grandchildren equally." I know, I said. I took out student loans. $52,000 in loans. I'm still paying them off. Brandon graduated debt-free. Gabriel closed the folder. He leaned back in his chair and looked at me for a long moment. When he spoke, his voice had changed completely. This was not my cousin anymore. This was a lawyer who had just found grounds for legal action. Do they know you found this? No. I requested the statements directly from the bank last week. They think I don't pay attention to finances. Good. Gabriel pulled out his phone. We have 1 week until your birthday. Until Brandon's party. Here's what we're going to do. He opened a notes app and started typing. Phase 1. Confirmation. We need to confirm that they will actually forget your birthday again this year, despite your father's promise. We document everything. How? I asked. You're going to send a message to the family group chat tomorrow. Something innocent. You'll ask if anyone has plans for the weekend. See if they mention your birthday. See if they even remember. I nodded slowly. And when they don't mention it, then we move to phase 2. Documentation and confrontation. But not private confrontation. Public. At Brandon's party. In front of everyone they invited. We show them exactly what they've done. We make sure they can never forget again. Gabriel looked at me seriously. This will destroy your relationship with them. Possibly permanently. Are you sure you want to do this? I thought about 18 years of forgotten birthdays. 18 years of feeling invisible in my own family. 18 years of watching them celebrate Brandon while I stood in the shadows. I'm sure, I said. They made me invisible. It's time they see exactly what that cost. Tuesday morning, October 28th, 2 days before my birthday. I sat in my office cubicle and opened my phone. The family group chat stared back at me. 6 members, Dad, Patricia, Brandon, my Aunt Linda, Uncle Daniel, and me. The last message was from yesterday, Patricia sharing photos of the rented fog machines for the party. I typed carefully, "Hey everyone, excited for this weekend? Any special plans?" I hit send. Then I set my phone face down on my desk and went back to work. Gabriel had been clear. Document everything. Let them show me exactly who they were. 20 minutes later, my phone buzzed. I picked it up. Patricia had responded. Yes, Brandon's Halloween gala is going to be amazing. The caterer just confirmed the menu. Filet mignon and lobster tail. Can't wait for everyone to see the venue setup, Brandon replied with a thumbs up emoji. Dad sent a message. Don't forget we need someone to pick up ice Friday afternoon. The party starts at 6 sharp. I stared at the screen. Friday, October 30th, my birthday. Not one mention. Not one acknowledgement. Uncle Daniel sent a message. Sounds great. We'll be there. I screenshot the entire conversation. Sent it to Gabriel. His response came back immediately. Perfect. They just confirmed everything we need. See you Friday at 2 p.m. Bring the folders. Friday arrived like a slow-moving storm. I woke up at 7 a.m. in my quiet apartment. The morning light came through my blinds in thin stripes. I made coffee, checked my phone, 0 messages. By 10 a.m., I had received birthday wishes from 3 coworkers and my dentist's office automated system. Nothing from my family. At 11:30, my phone finally buzzed. I looked at the screen. It was Dad. Hey, can you grab that ice on your way over? Also, Patricia wants to know if you can arrive by 4 to help set up chairs. Thanks. I read the message 3 times. Today was my 29th birthday. He was asking me to set up chairs for Brandon's party. I replied, Sure, Dad, I'll be there early. I'm bringing a friend to help. Gabriel picked me up at 2 p.m. He wore a dark suit. In the back seat of his car were 2 leather briefcases and a small black device I recognized as a portable projector. Ready? He asked. I looked at my reflection in the side mirror. 29 years old today. Ready. We arrived at my father's house at 2:15. The transformation was complete. The entire front yard had been converted into a Halloween spectacle. Life-size skeleton figures lined the walkway. Each one cost $500. I knew because I had seen the receipt on the kitchen counter last week. Orange and purple lights were strung through the trees. A professional sound system was being tested by a man in a black polo shirt with a company logo. Through the open front door, I could see a bartender setting up a mobile bar with 3 tiers of premium liquor bottles. Patricia appeared on the front porch. She wore an elegant black dress. Probably new, probably expensive. "Oh, good, you're here," she said, barely looking at me. "The chairs are in the garage. They need to be set up in rows of 10. Brandon wants a center aisle for his entrance." Gabriel extended his hand. "I'm Gabriel, Alex's cousin. Happy to help." Patricia shook his hand absently. "Great. Alex, after the chairs, can you help move the fog machines into position? The party planner will show you where they go." She disappeared back inside. Gabriel looked at me. I said nothing. We walked to the garage. The next 2 hours were a blur of manual labor. We set up 120 chairs. We positioned fog machines. We hung additional streamers. My father walked past us twice. Both times he was on his phone, discussing final details with someone. He nodded at me once, kept walking. At 5:30, the first guests began arriving. I watched from the side yard as Brandon greeted them at the door. He wore a custom-tailored suit. His hair was professionally styled. People handed him wrapped gifts, expensive bottles of wine, envelopes that probably contained cash. At 5:45, Gabriel touched my elbow. "It's time," he whispered. "Go get the projector from my car. I'll find the AV setup." My hands were steady as I walked to the parking area. Behind me, I could hear laughter and music starting. Brandon's party. On my birthday. For the last time. At 7:30 p.m., my father stood in the center of the decorated living room. The jazz band paused. 120 guests turned their attention to him. He held a glass of champagne. "Everyone," Dad said, his voice warm and proud. "Thank you all for coming to celebrate Brandon's special day. 24 years ago, Patricia brought this amazing young man into the world, and our family has been blessed ever since." I stood near the back of the room. Gabriel was positioned by the projector screen that had been set up for Brandon's birthday slideshow. Our projector was already connected, waiting. Dad continued. "Brandon, you've accomplished so much this year. Your promotion at work, your new apartment, everything you've achieved makes us so proud. This party is just a small way to show you how much we love you." The crowd applauded. Brandon smiled, raising his own glass. My father opened his mouth to continue the toast. "Dad," I said loudly. My voice cut through the applause. The room went quiet. Heads turned. My father looked confused. "I'd like to add something," I said, walking toward the center of the room. "Before we finish celebrating Brandon." Patricia stepped forward. "Sweetie, maybe later. This is Brandon's moment." "No," I said calmly. "This is the perfect moment. Because today isn't just Brandon's special day. Today is actually a double celebration." I reached the center of the room. Every eye was on me. Exactly 29 years ago today, on October 30th, someone else was born. Me. The silence was immediate and heavy. I saw confusion on several faces, recognition on others. Uncle Daniel's expression shifted from confusion to understanding to something that looked like relief. Dad's face went pale. "Alex, It's okay, Dad," I said. My voice was steady. "I know you forgot. You forget every year. Gabriel, can you pull up the first slide?" The projector hummed to life. The birthday slideshow screen that was supposed to show Brandon's baby photos now displayed something different. 2 photographs, side by side. On the left, Brandon's 21st birthday party, 200 guests, a casino theme, professional lighting. On the right, a text message, sent to me on my 21st birthday at 11 p.m. It read, "Sorry we forgot. We were busy. Happy birthday." Patricia made a small sound, a gasp that tried to be a word but failed. Gabriel advanced to the next slide. A spreadsheet appeared on the screen. Clean columns, clear numbers. 18 years of financial data organized by birthday. "This is a breakdown of birthday expenses," I said, my voice carrying across the silent room. "Brandon's parties over the last 10 years total $127,000. Mine total $4,200. Guests began whispering. Some pulled out their phones, taking photos of the screen, recording. "Alex, this isn't the time," Patricia said, her voice shaking. We can discuss this privately." "No," I said. "We've had 18 years of private. Tonight is public." The next slide appeared. Bank statements. My grandmother's education trust fund. The transfers highlighted in yellow. My grandmother left an education fund for all her grandchildren. $50,000 for each of us, for college expenses. Brandon used his entire fund and graduated debt-free. I paused. I took out $52,000 in student loans, because $43,000 of my fund was transferred out to pay for Brandon's birthday parties. The room erupted, not in applause, in shock, gasps, uncomfortable murmurs. Uncle Daniel stood up from his seat near the back. His voice was loud and clear. "I tried to tell you about this 3 years ago. You told me I was causing family drama. You told me to stay out of it." Dad turned to him. "Daniel, not now." "Yes, now," Uncle Daniel said, walking forward. "I watched you do this for years. I watched you forget Alex existed while you gave Brandon everything. I'm done staying quiet." Brandon, who had been frozen near the fireplace, finally spoke. His voice was quiet. "Dad, is this true? Did you really use Alex's college money for my parties?" Dad opened his mouth, closed it. No words came out. Patricia stepped between us. "This is a misunderstanding. We were managing family finances. We intended to pay it back." "When?" I asked. "You've had 8 years." Gabriel stepped forward, pulling a document from his briefcase. "This is a legal demand for restitution. $43,000 plus 8 years of compound interest. Total amount due, $55,000. The party was over. Not officially. The music still played softly in the background. The catered food sat untouched on elegant tables. But everyone knew. The celebration had ended the moment the truth went public. Guests began leaving. Some approached me quietly. Distant aunts, family friends I barely knew. They whispered apologies. Said they never realized. Some hugged me. Others just nodded with sad, knowing eyes. Brandon stood by the fireplace, his face pale. He walked over slowly. When he spoke, his voice cracked. "I didn't know about the trust fund. I swear I didn't know." I looked at him, my stepbrother, the golden child. For the first time, I saw something new in his expression. Guilt. Real guilt. "I knew they forgot your birthdays," he continued. "I asked Mom and Dad to include you, multiple times. They always said you preferred being alone, that you didn't like parties." He paused. "I should have pushed harder. I'm sorry, Alex." I nodded, said nothing. Some wounds needed time. 2 weeks later, a check arrived in my mailbox. $55,000, full restitution plus interest. No note, just a bank check signed by my father. 3 months passed before Dad called. Asked if he could visit. I said yes. He arrived alone. No Patricia, no excuses, just a father who finally understood what he had lost. "I can't take back 18 years, he said, sitting in my small living room. "I can't undo the damage, but I want to try. If you'll let me." I told him the truth. That forgiveness would take time. That trust was earned through actions, not words. That our relationship would never look the same. He nodded. Accepted every condition. On my 30th birthday, 1 year later, I celebrated with 12 people. Close friends, Uncle Daniel, Gabriel. And Brandon, who brought a simple card he wrote himself. Dad and Patricia weren't invited. But they sent a letter. Acknowledged their failures. Respected my boundaries. It was a start. Small, fragile, but real. They say the best revenge is living well. I learned something different. The best revenge is refusing to disappear. It's demanding to be seen. And sometimes, justice isn't about destruction. It's about finally, after years of silence, being heard. Don't forget to share this story with people who need to hear it, and click on the next video on your screen to continue the journey.